In this presentation, we will examine how Peter Burrell's The Return of the Hunters, made in 1565, uses a high sense of color scheme, composition, and detail to convey the magnitude and complexity of the harvest. It is his finest works and features the style typical of his career with the complex landscapes, combined with the portrait figures involving a variety of activities. Hunters in the Snow is currently considered one of the finest Renaissance paintings today, and was produced as a part of a vast ornamental plan for an estate banker and art collector Nicholas John Lick. The medium was an oil-on-oak panel and is considered to be a landscape and panel painting made during the Renaissance period. The artwork is defined by Burrell's icy color palette, which includes a pale green sky and ice, as well as a muted white snow, for all which are contrasted by the dark browns and blacks of the trees, birds, dogs, and humans. It's a chilly, dreary late afternoon in winter, the seasons of barren ground, slumber, and death. This composition of colors creates the ambience of a cold and cloudy day, enhancing the gloomy effects of weather. Although there is an overall sense of calmness and indifference among the villagers despite the wintry conditions. The rust-colored brickwork of the inn and a bright yellow fire in front of it stands out against the white, grays, and ashy blues that dominate the painting, making them give a warmth feeling and make it stand out from the gloomy weather, bringing in warmth. The composition of this artwork is probably the most important key element to understanding Peter Burrell's artwork, and I'm going to explain it in the best way possible. And to me, the way that I see how he's trying to tell this perspective or composition is through the trees on the left that serve as a really excellent framing technique, while the hunter's intended journey down to the hill into the valley, and the spectator, meaning ourselves, effortlessly look directly at the hunters. Furthermore, the line of the trees and the line of the homes, which both begin at the left-hand foreground and follow the hill's left to right downhill slopes, give the image a really good instant depth. The second line of trees adds to the linear perspective by drawing the eye into the valley's center. In reality, the entire scene is organized around two primary diagonals, which are: the first one is the left to right line of the hunters and trees going downwards, and then the left-hand border of the frozen ponds and lakes. Both of these perspectives, or diagonals you could say, create a linear perspective drawing into the viewer and creating a sense of depth. The composition also offers a bird's-eye view of the world locked in winter, with the hunters and their dogs, ice-skating peasants, a wheeling crow, and a busied preparation for the cold winter. This snow-covered landscape recedes significantly to a ridge of jagged mountains in the distance, all under a blue-gray sky in what is commonly perceived as a genre scene, meaning an image of everyday life. The use of everyday life was put into this composition to balance out the winter gloomy aesthetic with a combination of calmness by including regular activities. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the details in this artwork. It's densely detailed as one would expect from Burrell. This oil painting conveys a severe circumstance and temperature of winter. In the foreground showing, figures can be seen ice skating, curling, and spinning tops in the pond, the calming folk extinguishing a chimney fire, people shooting birds, the watermill with its frozen water wheel, and two women carrying what you can see as a sleigh into the lake. The village church steeples providing visual reference points in the distance. It creates what we call a perspective panel. One intricate detail in this artwork would be the trees. See, if you can shift your focus to the tree branches, you can see that they're dusted with fine snow. Those tiny little details really show how close Burrell's attention to detail really is, especially in a winter composition like this. To conclude, this is a lovely piece by Burrell that uses color, composition, and detail to represent the severe circumstances and temperatures of winter, as well as a blend of detail to warmth.